You didn't wake up one day exhausted. This didn't happen overnight. It happened slowly, quietly. Over time, you kept saying yes when it would have been easier to say no. You kept showing up when resting felt impossible. You kept carrying what needed to be carried because someone had to. And somewhere along the way, tiredness stopped being physical and became something deeper. You're not just tired in your body. You're tired in your spirit. You feel it when you wake up. You feel it when the day hasn't even started yet. You feel it in a way sleep doesn't fix. And the hardest part is this. You don't always know how to explain why. You're still functioning. Still responsible. Still dependable. People see you moving forward, but they don't see the effort it takes to do so. This kind of tiredness does not come from weakness. It comes from endurance. And God knows exactly why you're tired. This is where Scripture speaks. Not to people who quit easily, but to people who stayed longer than they should have had. T.O. The Lord gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak. Isaiah 40:29. That verse does not speak to people who feel fine. It speaks to people who are worn down. It does not describe laziness. It describes depletion. God knows the difference between someone who refuses to try and someone who has been trying for too long. Some of your tiredness comes from responsibility, not just tasks, but outcomes. You felt responsible for things you could not fully control. You carried expectations that were never clearly defined. You carried the pressure of not wanting to fail. And because you managed it well, no one questioned how much it cost you, but God did. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. Psalm 139:1. That means God knows the tiredness you don't talk about, the exhaustion you minimize, the fatigue you hide behind discipline and faith. God sees past your composure. He sees the effort it takes just to keep going. Some of your tiredness comes from emotional weight, disappointments that never had time to be processed, losses that were acknowledged but never healed, pain you carried because life didn't slow down. You didn't ignore it. You postponed it. And postponed pain doesn't disappear. It turns into fatigue. My soul is weary with sorrow. Psalm 69:3. Scripture does not treat sorrow as harmless. God does not expect you to be untouched by it. He names it. He acknowledges it. He allows it to be spoken. Some of your tiredness comes from being strong for others. You became the steady one, the calm one, the one who held things together. And because you stayed standing, people assumed you were okay. But God never assumed that. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. Psalm 34:18. Close does not mean distant concern. It means presence. God is not watching your exhaustion from afar. He is near it. He is aware of its weight. Some of your tiredness comes from waiting for clarity, waiting for answers, waiting while still being expected to function normally. Waiting can be exhausting when nothing changes quickly. I'm worn out from my groaning. Psalm 1:1. Waiting drains strength quietly. And God sees that too. Some of your tiredness comes from silence, from holding things inside, because you didn't want to be misunderstood, because you didn't want to burden anyone. So you carried it alone. And that kind of loneliness is exhausting. You have kept count of my tossings, put my tears in your bottle. Psalm 56:8. Even the tears you didn't cry, even the prayers you didn't finish, God counted those moments. You may wonder why faith feels heavier than it used to. Why obedience feels harder now. It's not because you drifted from God. It's because you have been carrying more than you were meant to carry alone. Jesus never ignored this kind of tiredness. Jesus said, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew 7:28. He didn't say, "Come when you recover." He said, "Come because you are tired." God does not shame weariness. He responds to it. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 1:7. Binding wounds takes time. Healing is careful. God does not rush restoration. For people who are drained slowly, some of your tiredness is a signal, not that you are failing, but that you have been faithful for a long time. Faithfulness has a cost when it is carried alone. Praise be to the Lord, who daily bears our burdens. Psalm 68:19. Daily. That means today's weight was never meant to rest entirely on you. You don't have to collapse to be seen. You don't have to break to be understood. God knows why you're tired. He knows the seasons that drained you, the responsibilities that stretched you, the silence that weighed on you. And He is not asking you to push harder. He is inviting you to come closer. This season is not about proving how strong you are. It is about learning where your strength truly comes from. You're tired, and God knows why. If this message spoke to your heart, like, share, and subscribe so it can reach someone who is quietly exhausted. And if you feel led, comment, "God knows why I'm tired." May His peace find you today.